So what we're going to do now is we're going to edit the page. Now to edit the page, I'm just going to go through and edit my content in here. Before I do that though, I want to talk about what some of these tools are here in my WYSIWYG editor. So some of them should be pretty basic and hopefully are pretty easy for you guys to follow and understand. The first one is save. Then we have save as. So far we're all good, right? The next one though is revert to last saved. So the revert to last saved, what that means is that you logged in, you started making a bunch of updates, and then you were like, oh my goodness gracious, I'm not even on the right page. Well, you can revert to last saved, and then it's going to remove everything that you've done and revert it to before you clicked on that edit button. The next one is our auto draft feature. So the auto draft feature here is kind of like your auto draft in Word. So you know Word crashes, it opens back up, you open it back up and it says, I'm sorry I crashed, but look, I saved your work. This is very similar to that. So what happens here is that if the server went down, if the internet went down, I guess the server too, your browser crashed, your computer crashed, whatever the case might be, all hope is not lost if you haven't saved. What you need to do is go on the same computer that's important. It is saved to your local system. And go open the same browser. If you were using Firefox to edit, you need to continue to use Firefox in order for this feature to work. You navigate to that page, go into the editable region, and before typing anything, you're going to click on this lifesaver icon, and it's going to ask you if you want to restore the previous content. So essentially what it's doing is every minute or so after you start adding content, it's going to spin and it's creating a backup in your cache. It's only going to give you the most recent auto draft save, and if you have browser settings that clear your cache when the cache closes or when the browser closes or whatever the case might be, then it's really not going to help you as much. But if you have a browser that has the cache turned on and the browser goes, closes down or something like that, then you can go in and restore your content. The next ones you have are cut, copy, and paste. I will give a little caveat here. Firefox doesn't like these buttons. It's a security feature for Firefox, so for cut, copy, and paste, you can use your keyboard shortcuts or you can right-click. But if you click on the buttons, it'll tell you that Firefox has disabled them. There are two paste icons here. One is your general paste, and then paste is plain text. Your general paste is going to paste in basic formatting, bold, italics, underline, colors, font tags, or span tags that have font face in them, your link tags, things like that. A lot of times for consistency purposes, to make the website look pretty and all uniform, you probably don't want to put all that in, so you want to use the paste as plain text. I always recommend paste as plain text and then just go back in and reformat what you need to reformat. But you can paste, as I said, everything. It will strip out inappropriate formatting like the MSO formatting if you copy from Word or something like that. You have find and then find and replace, undo, redo, and my favorite, the spell checker. Let's look at this sucker. Gotta love spell checker. So I'm going to misspell some words for you here. Misspell a. What I do want to point out right now is if you notice, without me turning the spell checker on, these words were already underlined. The reason is I'm using Firefox. Firefox has a built-in spell checker. So the spell checker is only going to be as good as your browser allows in terms of distinguishing. If words are added to the spell check dictionary and they're still being underlined, it's likely the browser that you're using, not the spell checker itself or UCampus. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and I'm going to click on my little spell checker and it's going to run the spell checker. Now, I don't know that if you guys could really tell, but prior to this, the way that Firefox had it, it was little dots, and now it's a red squiggly line. So that's going to be, in some browsers, a distinguishing factor for you. The red squiggly line shows that that is misspelled based off of my spell checker. So if I just click on that word, it's going to bring up the options that I have for the spelling change. I have the ability to add to dictionary. You guys all should have that ability right now, but if you don't notice that that ability has been made available to you and you want it, you can talk to web services and then ignore word and ignore all. So you're just going to change the words to what you want. Really nice feature about the spell checker here is that it does default English, but you do have 4 other dictionaries: Spanish, French, Italian, and Portuguese. If you happen to have a page that you want to spell check in Portuguese, you can go ahead and do that using our spell checker. The other options that we have are remove formatting, bold, italics, and strike through. What remove formatting is going to do is right down here where it says format my page and it's bold and italicized. If I were to highlight that and then click on the remove formatting icon, it's going to take away the bold and italics. If I want to bold something, italicize it, or put a strike through it, I can do that here. You also have your ordered and unordered list. So if I wanted to create a new list, I can just click on whether I want it to be unordered or ordered, and then put in my list items. I know you guys all tell how creative I am. So if I would rather have an ordered list and I've already created it, I can just highlight it and then click on the ordered button instead. So it's really easy to switch between the two. I have indent and outdent, superscript, subscript, and then my alignment, left, center, right, and justified. All right, so we looked at everything in this top line here except for these link icons. I'm going to talk about the link icons in just a little bit. I'm actually going to go to this next line first. So what you also have here is a format drop-down. What the format drop-down does is it allows you to essentially replace a P tag in your HTML. If I highlight header, because I think, oh, I'm going to go to header and I'm going to go to my formatting and I'm going to make that bold by selecting heading 2, that's not how it's going to work. It's actually going to change the entire block because it's replacing, again, the P tag with, in this case, an H2 tag. This one is a horizontal rule. You have a line break. You have special characters, which is like your copyright symbol, trademark, etc.